It's time for Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys.
Forgive us, Father, for we are about to sin and be very naughty boys.
Brandon, heads up.
What?
Turns out we were both wrong. My dad pointed out, he's like, they probably would be absolutely fine with that since it's a prior commitment. However, it will literally be your second week of work. And I was like, oh. So you're going to have to see if Chris can do the Wizard World Chicago.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, buddy.
It's all good. Chris will probably be thrilled.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm going to go down to Wizard World Chicago.
Yeah, it's Wizard World Rosemont, but whatever.
Go down to Rosemont and see where they keep all them Confederate flags.
No, those
What?
are in Wilmington.
What?
The city that I'm in, remember the one where we dropped off my dog?
Uh-huh.
I've seen multiple Confederate flags here.
Why? Y'all are so north.
It's literally Illinois is known as the land of Lincoln. Like, what the actual fuck?
Maybe it's meant to be irony?
It's not. They're fucking
How the fuck?
dumb shits here.
We have the Confederate flags. We're quirky. We're ironic. So,
Well, my favorite is someone has one where the right half is the Confederate flag and the left half is the American flag. And it's like, no, they literally fought against it. That's like having an American flag and a Nazi flag as half and half.
Well, no, not entirely, because Nazis weren't American.
well, neither were the Confederates. That's why they had a different flag. They were trying to get their independence from the U.S.
They actively said, we are not American.
Here's the thing. Like, if the Confederacy had won, they would have been considered the good guys according to their history.
True.
But
They
because
still think they're the good guys.
Exactly. So, like,
Actually, I don't think they would have, because in the eyes of history, I think the other countries would have still been like, oh, that's like real bad slavery.
here's the thing. China had slavery up until like 1940 something. So I feel like there's a lot of countries that would have gotten that away with it. Anyway.
Well, it does. There's tons of people who are trafficked into, human trafficking and sex slave and
Holy shit. That's
the thing. It's just now it's mostly sex slavery.
Guys, there was a bust in Utah.
Shocking.
No, check it. There was there were like 4 or 5 massage parlors that the owner would fly over to California, meet these, women of various Asian descents, and convince them to come back to Utah with him to elope, right? And he would force them into working at his massage parlors, and they were the kind that offered happy endings. And one can imagine,
like a free scalp massage or something. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean by a happy ending, buddy?
Hold up, fuck. There we go.
Actually, they just read you a bedtime story.
They would lay you. They'd lay your head on their lap and just stroke your hair and tell you everything's going to be okay. But in reality, they were being forced to have sex with the clients, and so the cops ran a sting operation on it and ended up busting them. They're getting a lot of jail time.
Good,
like
they
lot.
Should. By the way, when you say they, I'm assuming you mean the owners and not like.
I just think it's fucked up. They're putting
right?
those poor Asian women in jail for what they were being forced to do. That's the fucked up part.
Exactly. There it is. Wait, but seriously, are they?
No. They're taking care of the.
Tell you what,
women.
that sting happens in Texas right now, and those women are going to jail.
No, those women are being sent to the nearest Republican's house.
Well, and hopefully they were really careful with those happy endings. Otherwise, they're getting sued for $10,000.
Yeah,
that's actually how it's going to work. That's how they're going to get them. Like, oh, well, you can sue for $10,000, or.
So apparently there were some initial things that were being, because this isn't the first bust we've had this year. Like, there was a bust another 6 months ago. But they found out that they were moving the women from one parlor to another to kind of keep them from being tracked, essentially. all over the Salt Lake Valley. Like I'm talking like there was like 6 or 7 different cities involved, and they finally got him with by putting some sting operation cops in there, and they got him. They fucking
Those are
got
just
him.
called cops?
They were undercover cops.
Yeah, undercover cops. They're not like, oh, what do you do? Well, I'm part of the sting operation division.
What do you do? I work at the, I work I work I'm a grocer. Wink wink. Why'd
Actually,
you
I
why
think
Why'd
why'd
you
you
wink?
say
there's a term for that. I think it's vice. Well, no, vice is drugs. No,
Yeah,
vice is
vice is
prostitution
drugs.
as well.
Is it?
Yeah, vice is basically like the seediness.
Let me see.
Also, did you guys hear? I don't remember. I want to say Ohio, but don't quote me on that. But there was somewhere in America where undercover police officers got in a fight with undercover police officers because one group of them was trying to sell drugs to
The
bust
other was trying
people.
to buy
And
drugs.
yeah, exactly.
Didn't they
And
did that,
neither believed the other were cops.
they did that in Reno 911 like 10 years ago.
That's where they got the idea from. I mean, that's where Reno 911 got the idea from, not the
Oh.
actual police.
So I did look it up.
Could you imagine if it was the other way around?
Where it was
Oh, God.
a drug dealer trying to buy or sell drugs on an actual drug buyer trying to buy drugs and they think they're cops.
Do you think Trump watched Starship Troopers and that's when he was like, we got to make Space Force?
No, I mean, maybe.
I mean, look, with where we're going, I would not be surprised if the next thing on our bingo checklist was giant space bugs trying to kill us all.
Guys, why the hell does Lil Nas have the best fucking style? Like Lil Nas X, my bad. The dude is just fucking killing it with these outfits, and I am jealous as fuck.
I think the reason would be because he doesn't give a fuck.
Because he has a lot of
he's
money.
not inhibited by like the, oh man, what if people think I look stupid?
Also, can I point out?
He just looks like a badass.
Can I point out that the way that he dresses very much makes it look like he's trying to be a civilian Power Ranger?
I agree.
Like
you are not wrong.
He's got this pink outfit that's like pink cowboy hat, pink leather jacket, all that, and he's just like, I'm not the pink Power Ranger. Come on, y'all being crazy.
You know where he bought that outfit?
But you've never seen us in the same
Old Town
place
Road.
together before.
Where'd he buy it, Jeff?
At the Old Town Road.
Who was the rapper that that got the jewel embedded in his forehead?
Gandhi.
Fuck you, Jeff. I don't like this. I hate this Gandhi shit that you're on right now as much as I hate Mark's a racist. I hate it that much.
This is something that I'm on now. This is something I have been doing since like my second sophomore year.
I was going to say, I've heard him say this multiple times.
Yeah. To answer your question, I don't know, but I do remember like he was amazed with how much pain he was in.
All right, so the rapper's name is Lil.
Didn't it end up becoming infected?
I think so.
I don't know about the infection, but it gets good. So Lil Uzi Vert.
That's it. Yeah.
Got a 24 million diamond embedded in his forehead. And while he was at a concert, and I guess he went like crowd surfing or something, and somebody ripped it off.
Oh.
Like, you want to hear something even dumber than that?
They went full Thanos, ripping Vision's face off.
Good. What would he expect?
I mean,
well, have you heard about the rapper Dan Sir?
No.
Hang on a sec. I'm going to download
But I feel like I'm about to.
Oh, you were gonna.
Rapper Dan Sir has gold chains surgically attached to his body.
No, his head.
To his head.
So it's basically like shitty dreadlocks. Look in the general chat.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
I did see this.
How stupid do you have to be? My first thought was someone's going to tear those chains out of his skull.
If we're lucky.
Not one to wish terrible things on people. What the fuck's Brandon doing now?
Matador.
Brandon, come back into the screen. We can't see you getting your shirt changed.
Mark, you got to get control of all the cameras too.
I do. How fucked up would it be if I figured out how to control y'all's cameras?
How great would it have been if I'm upset we didn't think about this in time. He came back in, and my camera was on, and we were both shirtless.
That'd be
Oh, man.
great.
Right?
Why the fuck did you get off camera to change your shirt, you bitch?
Because you're recording, you bitch.
It's not recording the camera. It's only recording the audio.
Oh,
If I had
that's-
realized that, I would have stayed on, but it's too late now.
Yeah, Craig only records audio. It doesn't record video. I haven't
Too late to
figured out.
apologize.
I haven't
Too
figured out how to record the video aspect of it yet.
Good. And
So,
I'll
Mark,
need you.
Vice.
What?
You looked it up. Is Vice prostitution and drugs or just drugs?
So a Vice cop is, God, I got to go back like 8 searches here.
Or just research.
I'm not going to do that's too much effort. They are charged with the enforcement of gambling, pornography, prostitution, and the illegal use of narcotics and liquor. So basically,
Liquor, I hardly know her.
Is the porn one, huh?
I mean, I imagine it's probably pertaining to the bad kinds of porn, like children
Huh.
and
Do you
rape.
think if
dog.
you're a hooker, say you're,
All right, hold on. Let me get into my hooker mindset.
do it. Sorry.
Okay.
A call gentleman.
It's called a John.
No. A John is purchasing a hooker.
Oh, gotcha.
Instead, I don't want to call you a call girl. And
You
call boy just
could.
seems gross. You're a fella of the night. How's that?
You don't want to call me a call boy?
Doesn't that just seem like
That just sounds like that sounds like you don't know how to
sounds
say
like ladyboy.
cowboy correct. Come on over here, cowboy. No, cowboy.
right.
Cowboy.
So here's the hypothetical. You're a fella of the night.
Okay.
Do you think
Absolutely.
if you record every session and you give it to the person after you're done, do you think that's a loophole and you can't be charged with pornography or you can't be charged with prostitution because you're filming it, therefore making it pornography?
Are you saying
Because
you're
they're
creating
buying-
a loophole?
They're buying because it's amateur porn and they're buying the product. So it is full transaction.
Wait a minute. Isn't that OnlyFans?
No.
because
What he's
only
saying
fans
is
you're selling it to other people.
he's saying that you have sex with the person,
Sure.
film it, they pay you for the sex / the video.
No, they technically only pay you for the video.
Guys,
Sex-
that's
technically free.
exactly what happens on OnlyFans.
No, it's not. Say you're running an OnlyFans account and you decide to do a video with Heather Graham. You're not paying Heather Graham for doing the video. You get paid for doing the video and random people watch it. In this situation,
Right.
Heather
But
Graham
there
is the
are
only person buying this.
yeah,
and
but
it's
there's
because she gets-
I have an
absolutely
answer. I actually have the
there's-
answer for this.
okay. But
Wait, I want to hear the end of Brandon's.
before, but like, there's absolutely dudes who like sign up and are like fans and like pay, like they like pay a certain amount. Like, oh, here, like I, sent you this much, and now, and then they film something. But then they're like, well, I got to do a really cool fan meet and greet today, and it's
Yeah.
just like.
That's very much a thing that they do on OnlyFans.
That's absolutely a
Yeah,
thing. And then
I'll
a
give you
lot
that.
of times they will film it. You won't see the person. Well,
You'll
one,
just see the-
because nobody
you'll just
watches
see the
porn
dick.
to see the dude's face. They're just seeing it. They're just watching to see his cock.
You just
Ron
hear
Jeremy,
the
Ron Jeremy is proof of that.
I don't even think... I think they just tell the dudes to shut the fuck up. Or they just mute him out or something.
Unless it's gay porn.
Or unless there's a story.
True. I do love the
Yeah.
story-driven pornos.
You ever
Anyway,
seen the Friday the 13th parody? It's fantastic.
No, but did you all
Wait,
see
Mark?
the...
Tell us your
Oh, yeah.
research first.
Go ahead,
before
Mark.
you search for something else.
so this is a very common question asked, like very common question.
Okay.
How
Whether
common?
if you well, the guy that responded to this is actually a cop, and he says, I get this question to anywhere from a half a dozen to a dozen times a week.
That's, that's a
an insane
lot.
amount.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So there are a lot of laws in place that in order for this to classify as whether or not it's legal porn.
Okay.
One, you have to have a business license,
Ooh,
which you have to
what?
be in.
What if you're
you
an
have-
independent contractor?
I mean, independent contractors still are required to have a business license of some.
Right, but that's like how your business is set up. Like
Well,
I'm an
I
independent.
get it.
don't
I
think
get
it's that
it.
hard to get a business license.
It's not. That's the thing. Is it's really not. I could literally go down to the courthouse, pay the fee for an LLC business, and
Which
not
we've done.
we've done exactly. We've done this before.
We have done this.
You need to comply with USC, or sorry, 18 USC 2257, which means that you must have a registered agent of record who maintains records of all the shoots, their dates, their people involved, copies of legal identification, and proof of ages for all models, etc. You
So
need to have.
that's where it gets tricky because I
That's where
don't
it gets
think fans
tricky.
want their names known.
No, that's the thing. Well, yeah, exactly. That's why you have a porn name. You have to have a certificate of insurance for the shoot. You have to comply with OSHA regulations. You have to have proper tax withholding and accounting for the shoot, and you have to have a filming permit specifically for that shoot, which generally costs about $1,600.
Jesus Christ, I
So.
get it. Just if you're gonna be a hooker in San Diego and just go over the border to Tijuana whenever you need it.
Tijuana.
TJ,
Guys, I found it.
right? It's great.
I don't
It's
know
got
if it's
Cagney and Carter.
What
I
did
don't
you
know.
find?
I found the Friday the 13th parody.
Oh
That's
no.
awesome. Cagney? No,
It's-
dude, Cagney and Carter's the star.
I don't
know
my
who that
God,
is.
That
Wow.
is
Fantastic.
a massive wang.
I'm just imagining it's some dude named Wang. You're like, wow, that dude is massive.
I don't know if I'm watching the same one you did, but it's Little Red Riding Hood and
Nope.
Jason Voorhees.
No.
Anyway, man, we really got to the inappropriate shit fast today, didn't we?
Like we always do.
That's fair. I don't think we ever have an episode where we don't get there pretty fast.
All right.
So, speaking of OnlyFans and all that shit, you guys hear that they really very quickly reversed their decision to get rid of the porn on OnlyFans?
Oh yeah. Which I
It was
mean,
like,
that's not surprising at
not
all.
at all. Well, I mean, what else are they gonna do? Like, they're basically trying to be Patreon, but with porn.
What is?
OnlyFans.
What are you talking about? What are you sending?
I'm not sending anything.
I'm not talking to you.
Okay, you're talking. There's literally 3 people in this chat, so you got to specify.
Oh, why are you There's not 3. Well, I'm only
Don't
talking to 2 of you.
disrespect Craig.
Why is that picture of Edward Penis Hand so small?
Yeah, what the hell? man?
Uh-huh.
Also, by the way,
That is small.
I found out about this porn from a VH1 countdown video.
Wait,
That's
this is an actual
fantastic.
porno?
Yeah.
Oh, this is an actual thing.
100%.
There's also a scene that shows him trying to eat spaghetti
The
with his
funniest
hands.
part is, why didn't they just make him his fingers?
Edward Dickdingers.
It would have made so much more sense. Oh, Jesus.
Hold up. There's actually a picture making fun of that I saw a long time ago, but I can't find it. It's not. Damn it. Never mind.
Is it vampire ladies
No.
who love other vampire ladies?
Ew.
Wasn't that the one that you were obsessed with as a kid?
No,
Could
I'm
you
sorry. I'm ewing about
imagine-
something else.
Could you imagine your parents finding out that you're into porn and they finally come to terms and they're like, well, all right, son. I mean, do you at least enjoy what you're doing? And he's like, yeah, it was really great. I was in a parody this week. And they're like,
Well, you guys know how
I'm
I love
sorry.
spaghetti.
I thought when you said into porn, I thought you meant like their son likes to watch porn.
Yeah,
not that
that's
they're
where
into
no, sorry. I meant like got into porn.
Yeah, there you go. You missed the very important word. But I picked up what you were putting out pretty quick. I've also
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be too like I'm not a porn actor, so I don't think I have to worry about that. But I would be very, very concerned if my parents found my browsing history at that age,
Oh yeah.
which
You
in a
know
sense,
they
Nelly,
had.
they did. Yeah, I got my ass beat many a times for that. But if they could see
You
my
didn't
browsing
know how to
history,
delete your history?
no, dude, I am so technically illiterate. It's not even funny.
Dude, that was like the first thing No, that was like the second thing I learned on the computer after I learned how to give myself the parental access.
Look, okay,
So speaking of things that your parents find out about, I found out something that I think I should be a little concerned about.
Does it involve a fur coat and pearls?
No, it doesn't. It involves Mark.
Oh, yeah, so I'm even happier.
So Chris and I went to Nashville and
How
stayed
was
with
it,
my
by the way?
parents. It was great.
Good.
We'll have fun. I've got stories about Chris.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
holy
I'm so
shit.
jealous of you.
Holy shit, man.
Holy shit.
Stories
No,
that
it
he
will
told
be.
you or things that happened while
Oh
you were with him?
no, things that happened.
Did
Am
he
I-
hire a fella of the night?
No, but I'll tell you because one, I thought about like, oh, maybe I should really get Chris on here so we can talk about it. Chris is not going to want to talk about it if he's on the show because he's still very mortified by it, what he did.
Oh my God, I've never been more excited about something in my life.
You should be.
Did I move up on the list of your friends in your parents' eyes?
Maybe you did. But so anyways, I'll get to the you and I. So
I'm actually going to be quiet.
because we're all hanging out and of course stories start coming up and stuff. The story of you and I comes up from Valentine's.
Great story.
Right. And I had told you that my dad looked at, like, this was several years ago that my dad had like opened up and he's like, oh, I look back on it and it was funny. I realized
Do you have the
that
same
my
opinion?
dad doesn't think that story is funny. He thinks the whole thing, like looking back on me being like thinking that I was gay was funny.
Think about
Because
beating your ass.
so I'm getting there because my mom wanted to talk about the story because my mom remembers. My dad does not remember any of this.
What?
He does not remember. He remembers that Mark did something and that there was a conversation. He does not remember anything else. He like in his head, he's sitting there talking to me. He's like, well, I don't remember making a big deal about it. And I was like, what? What do you mean you don't remember making a big deal about it? And I was like, you showed up home early from work. And he's like, that doesn't sound like something I would do. And of course, my mom is just staring at him. And she's like, yes, you did.
I said, Daddy, no, please. And you kept going.
Yeah, I didn't
And
even
he's
get
like-
to that. I didn't even get to that part where he beat me. Like,
Oh.
because I was like, he doesn't remember anything leading up to it. He's definitely not going to remember
No.
that. So I'm a little concerned, like, uh-oh. Is your memory going, or do you now have selective parenting memory?
Oh,
like,
absolutely that one.
so,
Dude, my dad got so mad at me once, he didn't speak to me for 6 months, and he doesn't remember that.
My dad got so mad at me, he slammed my arm in a freezer.
Yeah, but he laughs about that.
No
that's
shit.
how he picks up ladies at the swingers clubs.
How much of a man am I? I slammed my son's arm in the freezer.
Not going to let some pipsqueak push me around.
Jesus.
Why'd you do that? He wouldn't drink his carrot juice.
As he
Okay,
as he steps up to her husband or boyfriend, whoever she's with, and just pushes him against the bar.
I'm gonna kiss you so hard on the mouth right now.
He accidentally said it to him.
No, he said it intentionally to him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Ooh.
finish your story because I got a story. I want to tell the story about that actual incident
What actual incident?
when my dad slammed my arm in the freezer.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk about Chris though.
Get to Chris.
So, Chris, we're staying at my parents' place. Nancy my sister Nancy is staying with my parents right now through December until she graduates because she's going to be going and doing mission trips.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's got a lot of cool stuff going for her right now. But so anyways, we did a lot of drinking. We We were drunk pretty much every night. So my sister and her boyfriend are watching TV upstairs in the living room area where Chris and I were sleeping. So we were waiting for them to finish watching their movie because I didn't want to. What, Jeff?
You put a pause between finish and watching their movie, and I was like,
Freudian slip. So they're finishing watching their movie, and Chris and I are just chilling downstairs on like the little seating area down there, and Chris passes the fuck out on the couch downstairs.
Oh,
And yeah, just passes the fuck out.
he's just a little guy.
And so, so I hear them finishing their movie, and I go up there, and I'm like, "Hey, is the movie almost done?" They're like, "Yeah. It's got like 5 minutes left." I'm like, "All right, cool.
Yeah, give us 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes, please."
So I go get Chris, and I'm like, "Chris, come on, let's go to bed." And he does a thing where he looks up at me. He goes, "Okay," and then passes the fuck back out.
Oh,
like,
I hate that.
All right. Not my problem at this point. I did my due diligence. I'm not your fucking parent. So I go to bed. Fall asleep. Wake up the next morning. Chris is fully dressed on the other side. It's like it's on a sectional couch. Massive, massive couch. So he's on the other side, fully dressed. Not uncommon for him at all. He always falls asleep fully dressed.
Right.
But so we're downstairs. We're getting like some quick breakfast ready because my buddy Andrew and his wife are getting into town, and we're going to go out downtown and do some stuff. We go downstairs, get breakfast, waiting for my friends to get there from Virginia, who are spending the weekend with us as well.
Oh, nice.
Bunch of racist assholes.
What?
They're from Illinois?
So anyways, my sister comes down and looks at Chris and goes, "So Chris, you find where you were supposed to be sleeping last night?" And
oh no,
I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, "Oh, right, because he fell asleep on the couch." And and he goes, "Huh? What are you talking about?" She goes, you came into my room, threw the door open, and just stood in the doorway." And
no.
Horror movie?
and she was like, and my sister is like, "Oh, Chris, I think you're in the wrong room." Chris doesn't say anything, turns around, and just leaves. Doesn't say anything, leaves the door completely open in my sister's room, and then goes to bed.
Boyfriend still there at this point?
He was in another room. So turns out Chris sleepwalks. And none of us...
Have you lived with him?
So here's the thing. I've had suspicions because I have seen Chris get up and he will say things to me like there's people who sleepwalk and you think they're awake. They just, it's not like we have a big house or anything. So, I mean, it's not hard to make it just like to seem like you're just awake. But I started making these observations shortly after Chris moved in. Chris always falls asleep on the couch a lot, and he'll wake up and he's like, "All right, good night, going to bed." No biggie. But this is where the observation kicks in. I started noticing that Chris kicks his feet up and down when he's sleeping. Like he's
having a nightmare?
Yes.
Like he goose steps in his sleep?
No, he's not goose. He's not goose stepping. But it is like almost because it's got a good like rhythm to it. And so I was like, that's probably just like a little trance thing that he does to like help him fall asleep or something. Just like a little rhythmic thing. And then because he'd stop. It goes in like waves where he'll do it and then it stops. And he does it and then it stops. What I have since realized since this trip, that is Chris, like he's walking but he's like laying down and he's not up. Like when his feet are kicking, it's his body. Like we got to move, we got to go.
That's awesome.
So yeah, he scared the shit out of my sister.
Well, real quick, you know what you need to do now, right?
What?
When he sleeps on the couch and you notice him doing that with his legs,
Uh-huh.
start directing his dreams.
That
Start whispering things
maybe.
to him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
Maybe.
fucked up, Jeff. That's fucked up, but yes.
I
know.
like it. I like that energy. But so, okay. This is, I mean, that story's good. Chris did something that pissed me off.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Did he
It's
break all your
so hard to piss Brandon off though.
No. I'm not talking like, oh, I'm annoyed kind of thing. Cause that happens.
Like Mark firing you from Hops and Heroes pissed off?
No, this was like,
Tell me.
this was like close to like
Leaving him there driving back on your own?
certain somebody being a prick and pissed me off to where I threw a drink out of his hand pissed.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not still mad at him, by the way. I'm totally fine. It's funny now, but it was funny in the moment. It was funny, but I was asking him to stop and he didn't stop.
God.
And
he's talking about Scott. Scott's the prick.
Yeah. Scott's the
Usually.
prick. So anyways, it's our last night there. Get hammered again, Avi, because why not?
Yeah, why not get
and we
hammered
have
drunk
to-
before you drive back across a country?
Also true. Not
No
the
wonder you,
so-
wonder you guys didn't make it back in time to record last week.
he didn't know. Okay, so that's another story. I'll get to that why we didn't get back in time. Chris
were
got
down.
Chris was for sure hammered. I was tipsy. But
Isn't it sad
So-
how much more it takes for us to go from tipsy to drunk?
oh, I know. My little brother and his friends are
How old?
chilling. I say little brother. He's just turned 16.
Oh my god, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You
And
like
his
drunk
friends,
Chris around that kid?
I didn't have choice. Everybody was drunk. Mom was drunk. Dad went to bed. So,
Yeah, but
So
Chris
his
will try-
friends-
if drunk Chris will try and convince your brother he's
my
racist.
little brother and his two friends immediately come up to me and they're like, hey, Brandon, you should take us to Taco Bell because it's past curfew for them. They can't drive to Taco Bell. And I'm like,
Wait,
guys, I would totally
because of where
take
they
you
live or according to your parents?
to both. And so I was like, guys,
your
I would
parents
totally take you to Taco Bell in any other circumstance except for the fact that I am so tired and I have to get up super early to drive back to Texas.
I've been drinking a lot. I
Also,
can't
the
make
whiskey
the
flowing
car
through
go
your
boom
blood.
boom.
Right. Also that I could not, I would be a bad idea to drive. Sorry, I had to take a sip. While that was happening, Chris
You forget we
comes
can
up.
See you this time.
Huh?
You forget we can see you this time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I'm
And I
explaining for whatever.
I can cut out the gap, but I'm not going to now.
So
drunk Chris walks up.
Chris
PT.
walks up, sees these like just young men just sitting there, and he decides
Oh,
to
no.
try to give them life advice.
Yeah.
Drunken Chris life advice. And it started off harmless. And I'm like, well, this
So
isn't
fucking
bad.
happy right now.
This isn't bad. I was like, this isn't bad advice. This is going fine. Chris is like, life's too short. You got to experience everything you can and always have money set aside so where you can just travel.
Is
And
this
when you
before started
travel,
to tell him about sounding rods.
oh, you know what? If he had, I don't know what would have been worse. I think, you know what? I'm going to put it on the same level. I'm going to put this.
Did he tell them to try sucking a dick once in their life?
Sort of. He might as well have. He
What?
might as well have.
Oh, he told me to try
So,
it.
no,
Thank God.
that's what he said. Chris is like, y'all need to go out, experience everything you can. Go to Thailand, experience the culture there, do some gambling. The best thing you can do, invest in ladyboys. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm like, Chris, hey, buddy, rein it in a little bit. Like, come on, stop. And he's so hammered. He's like, what? I'm just trying to help them with life decisions. I wish I had invested in ladyboys. And he just, all he kept doing is just like, it was like little like atomic bombs being dropped in the background every time he said ladyboy. He said it like 8 times.
Did you play a
Your
drinking game?
brother and his friends know what ladyboys are.
No, they had no clue. And at first I was like, maybe they're just playing cool because they're like, haha, he said ladyboys kind of thing. There is a look of bewilderment on their faces.
Oh my
Like,
God.
What? And one of them, like, one of the kids just goes, what's a lady boy? And Chris immediately goes to go off into explaining what it is. And I was like, nope. And I forced him out of the room. And I was like, you're not doing this. And then we went upstairs to where we were like, I went to go pack. And I'm like, Chris, we need to go pack for tomorrow. And then I just laid into him. And I was like, that was not fucking cool, dude. And I was pissed. And of course, my buddy Andrew comes up and he walks into the room and he goes, so can I come in now? And just like to talk. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. I talked to him. And my buddy, I looked at him, I was like, so
ladyboys, huh?
I was like, yeah, that's what he said. He's like, so ladyboys, huh? And I was like, are they talking about it down there? Like what like
You realize they have phones. They looked it up the second you walked away.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm absolutely sure they did.
Which I really hope they accidentally had it set to the search bar set to pictures.
So maybe. So, but anyways, I was like, oh God. I was like, how is it down there? Are they like, and he's like, oh, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. They just think Chris is gay.
And you're like, oh God, don't tell my dad.
And I was like, oh, cool. That's yeah. All right, cool. That's not the worst outcome. But so anyways, we're sitting in the car driving home and Chris goes
remember?
A little bit. As the day progressed, it started setting in more and more to what he did. And he got...
Wait, quick question. How old's your brother?
Like he just turned 16 or he's 15. I think he's 15.
I say we pool our money together.
Invest in some lady boys.
Bangkok are only $1,100.
I want to go to Scotland first.
Yes, but do you want to go to Scotland and enjoy the culture, or do you want to go to Bangkok and watch Chris around ladyboys?
I want to go to Scotland and enjoy the culture, and then...
You wouldn't even need to go take Chris for that. You'd just see me enjoying the culture.
In Bangkok?
Fuck yeah.
One night in Bangkok.
Hey, Mark, what'd you do today? What the fuck do you think I did today?
Oh my God, that makes me so happy.
But so yeah, it was a very stressful.
Amazing.
It's funny now. It was not funny to me at the time.
Did you ever find out? Did your brother figure out what ladyboy?
I don't know, and I don't want to find out because also Chris is absolutely terrified that he's now going to get kicked out of the house.
Question: Your brother?
Oh my God!
What's your brother's? How do you spell your brother's first name?
Why?
Okay, and then what?
Fuck
the
you.
Last man.
I was just gonna send him a message on Facebook like, "Hey man, did you ever get around to looking that up?"
Don't do that.
You know I wouldn't. All right, so I actually have.
I don't know.
Your stories actually reminded me of two things I want to talk about real quick.
Okay, cool.
Before you do.
Oh, so anyways, here's the other thing that happened as to why it ended up taking us so long to get home.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it, if I'm sure you both saw the picture of us at that fucking massive Bass Pro Shop in Memphis.
The Memphis Bass Pro Shop Pyramid, yeah.
Yeah. So we're driving past that place, and I'm driving, and Chris is like, "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" And I was like, "What,
Bass Pro Shop.
the Memphis Pyramid?" And he goes, "Why are you saying it so like it's nothing? It's a giant stainless steel pyramid with a fucking Bass Pro Shop inside of it. We have to pull over."
Not
I'm like,
inside of it. That's the point of the pyramid.
No.
The pyramid is
No,
Bass
it's
Pro Shop.
not.
Really? I
Yes,
thought
the
it was.
pyramid is the Bass Pro Shop. That is not what that building originally was. That
Don't
was
tell me it was Elvis's funk dungeon.
No, I wish
Tell me
would
that was
be
a jungle room.
No, that's at Graceland.
Where all the ladyboys are.
That's where the ladyboys are. That used to be a sports arena,
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
like where basketball events were held.
Stop lying. We all know it was gladiator fights.
Nope.
It was
I'm-
just American Gladiators, dude.
So anyways, they went bankrupt because it turns out they put it in a terrible location. Parking wasn't good enough.
The
And
new location's not much better.
It's not much better, but but that should tell you how bad this location was.
Yeah. I've been to Memphis, I know.
Yeah. And so we had crossed, right where that is, you're crossing the bridge across the Mississippi and you're in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to turn my ass around, go back into Tennessee so we could go to this fucking Bass Pro Shop.
It's so stupid.
He is as giddy as a schoolboy, like losing his mind.
And then we saw Ladyboy.
I will say, so this is not a normal Bass Pro Shop by any means.
No, it's like isn't there a bowling alley in there?
There's a bowling alley. There's
That's
an
a theme park.
aquarium. There's a hotel.
Mhm.
There
Put a lot
is-
of emphasis on the word hoe there, bud.
Yep, that's
Oh.
intentional.
Dude, Dude Perfect has filmed 3 separate episodes in there.
Yes, they
Yeah,
have.
okay.
There are ponds with ducks and
Like chess pawns?
what?
Like chess pawns?
No, ponds,
No,
as in
prawns.
bodies of small bodies of water.
Like shrimp.
They're that's a prawn.
No, prawn is what I watch on the internet when I get bored.
Oh my god. So anyways, so it's stupid ridiculous. Also, there's a Wahlburger in there.
The
Did you
fuck's a
guys buy any?
Wahlburger?
That is
the
Marky Mark's brother's burger joint.
There's Marky Mark, there's Donnie, and then there's just the one that owns a burger store. Chain.
Yeah.
It's actually okay. Their barbecue bacon burger is pretty good.
We didn't eat there. I should have, probably
I
would have
ate
been a
there in
good
Canada.
idea, but we didn't. But so anyways, there is an
Did Chris buy
there's an
anything?
observation deck on top of the
Yeah, that's the
pyramid.
pictures I saw.
Yeah.
That's how I knew you guys were in Memphis.
It costs $8 to
that's
ride
fucking
a
stupid.
fucking elevator to the top.
They can eat $8 of my asshole.
I didn't pay for it.
Oh God, no! If I were you, I would not. I would have absolutely made Chris pay for it after making it turn around on the highway after crossing the mighty Mississippi.
He pulled an illegal U-turn on the highway, drove into oncoming traffic, took the wrong exit.
Mark, he
Cars-
didn't do that. He just
cars.
backed up.
Completely fucked. Oh yeah.
Just threw that. Chris just threw the fucker into reverse, and y'all held on for dear life.
Hey, quick
I was
question.
driving. I was going to keep going, but I was like, if I don't stop, I'm never going to hear the end of this.
No, you would not have. Hey, quick question. How much?
It
money
was
has
cool
this
though. It
podcast
was worth
made so
it. It
far?
was, say what?
How much money has this podcast made so far?
About $8.
Let me check real quick.
Because you can buy a Bangkok flag for only $20. Put that
Why
up
would
in
I
Chris's room.
So we have to date made $847.
All right, we're each gonna have to throw in $4 to get us up to that 20.
I'd rather just buy one of the ladyboys. They're probably about the same price.
Not
Eh.
the good ones.
I don't know. With inflation, I think it's 5.
I don't want them to be inflated. I just want a
And-
regular ladyboy.
That's a different kink.
Oh man, I just recently rewatched the Hangover movies.
Yeah, they also deal with ladyboys.
I have a demon in me. No, you mean semen. Yes, thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
Anyway, finish Bass Pro Shop.
So
Chris.
we get to the top, take some cool pictures, and then I mean that was pretty much it. Like we took some real, I mean, you have badass view of the city from up there. So I've always made fun of people who have a hard time with those floors that are made out of glass.
Is Chris one of those people?
No. It turns out I'm one of those people.
Really?
Yes. So I immediately was like, well, that's dumb. It's a floor. They wouldn't put it there if it wasn't safe. Like, you're being ridiculous. And sure enough, they have like a glass floor, and I go to step on it, and my brain goes, don't do that. What are you doing? And I'm like, brain, don't do this. This is a floor. Stop making, like, I want to go over here. My brain's like, but what if it breaks? But what if it breaks? And I'm like, oh no, what if it breaks? And I'm like, no, it's not going to break. It's totally fine. So I literally am like having this like internal struggle with myself about stepping onto the glass observation deck to like get a cool view of the city. And because the problem is like, it's not like like you see like the ground, like it's not like it's on a pyramid. So you look down and it's just the pyramid. It's not like there's a street below you. You're just looking at the slope of the pyramid. And I'm like, why did they even... Yes, exactly, Jeff. I'm like, why did they even bother to do this? This is stupid. But my brain is just like, it's going to break if you step on it. And I'm like, it's not going to break if I step on it. And I look over and there's like these metal struts that go across, like, you know, in between each like little panel or section of the observation deck. And I'm like,
since it's glass, it's a pain.
God damn, that's a pain in my ass. And so my dumb ass was like, well, if I walk around along the metal, I'll be fine. And so my dumb ass just walks like doesn't step on the glass and just walks on the fucking metal part like some kind of nutcase.
So I think it's Houston that has a glass pool going between two buildings. So it's just suspended in the air.
I don't know if it goes between two buildings. I know it hangs off the edge of the building.
Can we take you to that and see how your brain deals with it?
I'm not going to get in the pool, let alone get... Because at that point, it's like, it doesn't matter if this breaks, and I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm near it or not. If this breaks, I'm just going to be part of the waterfall that hits the fucking ground.
Well, that's a pessimistic way of looking at it. So, when I was probably about 15. I was still living with my parents, and my dad was digging in the fridge. Of
course you were.
Yeah. I wish I would have gotten out long before then, but yeah. So I'm digging in my my dad's digging in the fridge, and I'm like, hey, don't stand up. I'm reaching over you. And I open the freezer.
He goes, don't tell me what to do, you piece of shit.
Basically, yeah. What's first, his first instinct when I say don't stand up is to stand up. And he ends up smashing his head on the bottom of the freezer door. And then because I'm the asshole who warned him not to stand up, he pins me against the fridge, stuffs my arm in the freezer, and just slams it like 3 times.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So we're ending today's episode on just domestic abuse?
No, we're ending this episode on one other thing. This Brandon's story about Chris telling
more abuse.
Brandon's story about Chris telling the kids about ladyboys reminded me of this.
Uh-oh.
So when I was like 13, two things in my life were happening at the same time. 1, I discovered porn. And 2, I was running track and field. And this is the story of how they came together.
Uh-oh.
So we were.
You can't run with a heart on, so
You can.
We
It's
can.
there's not enough blood. Goes to your legs.
So anyway,
you tell that to the. Never mind.
Leon Phelps, the ladies man.
so me being 13 years old, I don't really have the best social awarenesses or anything, and we're watching Anger Management on the this TV. We're all in Orlando. This is me and like 12 other people are in Orlando for a track event at the Wide World of Sports in Disney World. And we're just chilling at the house that we had rented, and we're watching Anger Management. And that part with Woody Harrelson as the cross dresser comes up,
I forgot about that.
and
Oh my
you know,
god, I forgot that was Woody Harrelson.
and Adam
Holy
Sandler
shit.
Adam Sandler starts yelling, "I'm not gonna have sex with a goddamn she-male." Me being 13, having very recently discovered that particular category of pornography, I'm just sitting there eating popcorn and I just go, another word for she-male is a tranny. At which point, everybody in the room, including 3 grown-ass adults, just stop and look at me. And one of the my head coach was there, and she's like, "I'm sorry, what did you just say?" I was like,
Yes, it was a she.
"Yeah, it's another word for a she-male's a tranny." I didn't know it wasn't okay to talk about. I thought that it was okay. I thought that 20. It was like 2010 or 2007. I thought
Showing
it was
us
okay.
this movie, and you're the one getting mad at me?
Yeah, I was just like, well, she wasn't watching the movie with us. She was in the other room doing like stuff prep for the coaches stuff. This was something that the teenagers put on that we happened to be watching, and
Oh.
and so she's like, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" I was like, "Yeah, another word for she-males is trannies." And one of the little kids, like, because one of the kids happened to be in the room, that was like 9 years old. It's like,
What's a tranny?
"What's a she-male?" And I'm like, "Well, a she-male."
Let me get my buddy Chris on the phone.
I was like, "Well, you see, a she-male is," and before I could get another word out, my coach, I have never seen anybody. This woman, she was a bigger girl. She wasn't like one that moved very quickly all that often, but she crossed about 80 feet of house in about 2 seconds and pinned me down and covered my mouth. And she was like, "It's nothing. Everyone go to bed. It's bedtime." And one of the kids was like, "It's like 6 o'clock. Do we really have to go to bed?" And she's like, "Everybody just get the hell out." And so the rest of them went off and I don't know what they fucked around somewhere. And she's like, "Mark, is everything okay at home?" And I was like, I mean,
Everything's great at home.
I don't know,
Well, my
man.
dad just slammed my arm into a freezer 3 times last night.
That was
Thanks for
that was
asking.
2 years after this event. Don't worry about that. But yeah, so that's how
That's not the right takeaway at all.
that's definitely how I scarred 2 kids or a group of kids. And you know what? I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Brandon, I can't wait to meet your family again.
Please don't.
How upset do you think Chris is that neither Mark nor I was there and drunk to take the heat off him?
Oh, I'm sure he was definitely on the struggle bus. Believe me, that weekend.
Oh, Chris. He's so sweet little boy.